What's up, you guys? Today we're going to be building something for ice fishing season because it is upon us right now and people are already on the ice fishing. And what I wanted to do this year is make what's called a Smitty Sled for my ice fishing sled. So the idea behind it is that it's going to raise it up off the ground. You got skis underneath the sled itself, and that way it's going to create less drag. One of these sleds out on the ice by yourself, then it is not fun. I want something that's simple and easy, and I can be able to pull it by myself, less drag, and get out on the ice so we can do some ice fishing. So let's get right to it. I'll show you everything down below. So if you want to try to make yourself a Smitty Sled to make it easier on yourself, follow along. Let's get to it. Here we have, bought these off Amazon. Again, I'll leave the link to these. This is just a three-way connector, actually for like a dog kennel or something like that. But I will put a link in the description down below for you guys actually to check it out if this is something that may work for you guys for this sled. Now these are going to be mounted to some skis that I picked up over at the Goodwill store. So these will be, the conduit will slide down in here, and then I will be able to bracket everything together with those here. Okay. If you don't have any skis, I didn't have any skis. I used to be a snowboarder till I shattered my ankle many years ago. So with all the hardware in there, I passed now. So anyway, picked up the skis here. I don't know if you can see that. $10. I picked them up at $10. They didn't have bindings or nothing. I didn't need any of that stuff. So super cheap. And then this will go down. And this is what I'll mount those other brackets to that I showed you earlier. I'm going to be building it out of some conduit piping right here. Let's get things measured out. We're gonna get them cut, so let's go. My sled, it's a pretty good sized sled. I'm gonna measure this out. I'm gonna make sure it's wider than this because my tent that I actually put up, I wanna be able to either store inside when I'm hauling off to the lake, or I wanna be able to put it off to the side. So I'm gonna make these bars a little bit wider here, so that way I can put the tent on the side and I can run a strap across and actually hold everything on. I did cut all the perimeter poles along with the riser poles, and I do have the dimensions at the end of the video, so if you want to check that out, I did screenshot that for your convenience. Okay, so what I've done here, I just set it up there just for now, just to see, check the width and everything else. As you can see how I made it sit a little wider on this, because if I want to slide it over here, I've got this big gap right here. I can actually put my tent right there if I want to, if I don't want to put it in here inside the bed itself. So it gives me the option to set it there, or if I have anything else that I want to put, chairs or whatever there that's not going to fit in here, I can still do that. So that's one thing I like. Now the way these brackets are, I've still got to screw these through here. I'm going to screw them up and bolt these down, these right here, but this has a screw on the back. Now the one thing I am a little concerned with is obviously the ice forming up around here. So what I may do is I may just drill a hole all the way through this thing, and then that way I can just run a little clip all the way through and then quickly release it. I think that's probably the better option. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment down below and give me your thoughts. And I want everything to break down so I can fit it in my car nice and easily. Okay, now make sure you have a good sharp drill bit to get through these skis, because they do take a bit. Okay, so now it's all drilled out, and what I actually did here is I did a countersink on these. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, I have a bit that actually will go down and countersink. So I got these are the screws that we got right here. I got the stainless, obvious reasons, it's gonna get wet, so, but yeah, you can see it's got that bevel on the bottom there. What the idea is these are gonna go in here, and I made it just about the exact same because I didn't want any kind of wiggle room or play at all on these screws, because I wanted everything to be tight as possible. So now they'll sit flush on that, so that way you're not getting drag and catching stuff as you're pulling along. You don't want things to toe in on you, because when you're skiing, if you angle your skis in, that breaks you. So whenever I'm pulling this, I don't want the brake on to make sure everything was aligned and straight to where it needed to be. Okay, got them in here. It's nice and flush, which is great. That way I'm not going to be catching on stuff as we go down. Now these screws are a little long, and these are Locknuts on here, so that way I don't want things coming loose on me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut these shorter, just extra things that could just grab in the stuff, and plus I just like it to have a little cleaner look. So I'm going to cut those off with the Sawzall. We're rocking and rolling. But I think it's gonna work out really well. I'll have to get it out there, of course, and then let you guys know how my thoughts are on it. But these things right here, they're actually closet rod holders that I got off Amazon. So I'm hoping the weld is gonna hold on. Yeah, no, it's not gonna be just a lot of pressure. I already set this down on the ground and I actually got inside of the sled just to see how the weight would hold. So there's not gonna be a whole lot of pressure on that, because I'm gonna actually drill a hole right here, and then that way I can hook my strap to it and actually pull the sled that way instead of on top of the actual sled itself. So I'm very pleased with how this has turned out so far. I'm actually gonna paint up all the conduit also, maybe put a little bit of tape on there. I'm gonna set it up real quick and then show you what it looks like. Feels really solid. Hopefully it stays that way, of course. So yeah, I think this is gonna work out excellent. I'm hoping. Now I just can't wait to get it out and give it a shot. If you guys have any questions or comments, or if you built something like this, let me know what you guys thought. Hey, if you guys got any value out of this, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I sure appreciate you guys watching my videos. I have a lot of fun putting this stuff together. I just love the outdoors, love fishing. Have a fantastic day. Okay, now it's time to get things out. Get my skis out. There's a left side and a right side to your skis. Typically they'll indicate left side and right side. And go ahead and snap these things in place. And then there's screws on each one of those. I can tighten those down on each one of those risers. And then from here I can slide my sled right out of my vehicle, right onto the Smitty Sled. I'll scoot it over. It'll give me that room off to the side of it so I can move my tent off and place it there. Now I have all the room inside of my sled itself for all my gear. Then once I get all my gear in, I can actually either put a strap on, or I've got a bungee and a strap, depending on where we're going, and off we go. Okay, well, as you can see, we're out ice fishing, and maiden voyage for the Smitty Sled. You can see how far I am out. There's not a lot of snow, but this thing worked awesome. Carrying all my gear, I mean, a tent, chair. I could definitely put more gear on here and comfortably pull it. Let me show you real quick. Here's where I drilled the holes out for the front right there. I have carabiners that I quickly snap in here for my harness. I'm gonna drag it by. I didn't end up putting the pins in here, because what I do is I actually unscrew it here, and this thing lifts up, and this whole thing fits perfectly in my car, or my Toyota FJ. So I put the pool noodles on just to kind of softenings up a bit, and then for some reason it did go through. Hopefully it would stay afloat. So okay, well, you can see I've got everything on there. Now it's gonna hook everything up, get back to the car, because you can see the sun is going down and it is really cold. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Let's get to the car before I freeze. Well, all the specs are coming, so get ready to screenshot or share it or send it to yourself, so that way you have it for future reference. Here you go.